sometimes, well, here we can see, well, yes, here we could notify, so here is the points to be noticed. Well, let's find. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa, and I am here with you. According with the titles, yes, today we are roasting here the feminist celebrities about NEET NEET 2026, and here today's toxic feminist celebrity is repeatedly Divija Bhasin. And now, here is the point that why we are roasting Divija Bhasin in the points of the NEET 2026. Because here we could notify here almost July 2026 here would be the results of 2026, and hence here we are going to expose here as NEET feminist aspirants. Okay, now let's check it. Today's point is what? Today's point is here school uniform. Okay. Now here we can see, well, what is Divija Bhasin's topics? Divija Bhasin's topic is schools rejected my uniform ideas. Okay. Now here we can see the points uploaded in June 28, and here we could it is here 1,814,553 views and 22,000 likes. Now, it sources YouTube Israel. First of all, here we can see here we can assume that it would be some moments that the uniform would be clean as some points here. Hence, but here would be the reasons here school rejects Divija Bhasin's uniforms. Now let's ideas. Now let's check it. What is Divija Bhasin's uniform idea? Okay. Well, girls school. Girls students uniform idea would be like this. Would be just simple, but it would be this awkward. But it can be okay. What? Here, what's wrong in this? She is a Balbir serial heroine, and he is Balbir. Now look at the uniforms. Women wear the school salwar kameez, but men wear the school salwar kameez accordance with the Divija Bhasin's ideas. Okay. Now it is the Aladdin's serials. Well, Jasmine wears salwar kameez school because she is girl. Okay, but Aladdin wears salwar kameez. What's wrong? It's just these ideas at the moment. Now here we can see the points. Okay, now in this points when today's topic is NEET 2026, and here I would notify here what is. I would remind you what is your feminine hormones and what is your masculine hormones. And now here we can see the points. Well, what is testosterone? Testosterone is the hormone. Testosterone is a masculine hormone. Here, hence that man can think like a man, but human can think like a man. Human can run like a man, and human can fight like a man, and human can generate his business idea like a man. Well, that is the momentum at the points. Okay. And what is your feminine hormones functions? Estrogen is a feminine hormone that that can ensure that humans can think like a woman, human can fight like a woman, human can write like a woman, and human can generate their business idea like a woman. That is their functions of estrogens, because estrogen is a feminine hormone. Okay, and now here is the part here we could notify. Well, now what is the Divija Bhasin's ideas? Okay, well, Divija Bhasin's ideas is like that. Here we can see. Well, women's wear salwar kameez as a school uniform. Men should wear salwar kameez as a school uniform. That is their what? Okay, that is their idea of whom? That is idea of Divija Bhasin's. Where in personal life, Divija Bhasin herself does not wear salwar kameez, but as a woman's, but she believes here man should wear salwar kameez. Okay. Now here we can see this points. What is now in these cases? Now what is my ideas at the moment? Well, we can say that points. Well, what is man's uniform ideas? Here I can provide you some points. Okay. Now here we can see this point. We can notify this. Now what is going on to be noticed? Okay. And here let's some topics about the points. Cytoestrogen is one of the function of whom? What? Cytoestrogen is one of the function of Operation World Nettie Maria Stephens. Okay. Now we know this. Who was Nettie Maria Stephens? Here, Nettie Maria Stephens was the girls. Nettie Maria Stephens was a woman to be scientist who researched about gender chromosomes. And here we can see the points. And in these cases, now here we can notify that what the matters. We can notify that 1 gram cytoestrogen supplements cost almost 1.1 United States dollars. And in this points, here we have exposed here Sheikh in several times in another roasting materials topics. And now, in these cases, now what is here? Okay, now here we can see what is your today's date. Well, today's date is 14th July. Yeah, July 14th, 2026. And now, well, at midnight 1 o'clock of July 14th, 2026, here we can contest a match between France versus Spain. And here, tomorrow in July 16th, midnight 1 o'clock, here would be a match between England versus Argentina. Okay. And now, let's check at the points at the moment. What's going on? Okay. Now, here, what is the function of cytoestrogens on men? And you can see the points. Cytoestrogens can increase man's feminine hormones. When man's feminine hormone can increase, here we can see at the first point here would be the Divija Bhasin's uniform idea would be accepted in a school if and only if boys students of the school who contains the high levels of the feminine hormones. That is the point of cytoestrogen supplements. Okay. Now here we can see the next functions what's going on. Okay. Now what is the functions of cytoestrogens? Here we would discuss at the more points. 1 gram cytoestrogens can uh, decrease the human velocity as 20%. Okay. That what is the meaning of that? Well, before 1 gram cytoestrogens, here we can see the spots when our Lionel Messi's velocity was 100 kilometer per second. After 1 gram cytoestrogen supplements, his velocity would be here what? His velocity would be just like here 80 kilometers per second, and it is the moment at the punch. And now let's check it. What is the realities? And here we can see what is now I can put notifiers. What is the reality? Here Divija Bhasin dare to provide a uniform idea to a school where school contains almost every out of what school contains here NEET aspirants. Now let's check it upon what's going on. Okay. Now here we can see this is the terms. Just we have to wait and watch. Well, now let's check it. Now here we can see this is the moments. Well, here in July 16, here is the match between England versus Argentina. And now, well, when estrogen has been supplied to Argentina, here we can see this moments. Estrogen has been supplied to Argentina in here June 17 from the match between Argentina versus Algeria. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Well, it is almost 1 month. Here 1 month means it is almost here 30 days. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Lionel Messi's now we can state about the Lionel Messi's. Here we can notify that how is the plans of Divija Bhasin to supply cytoestrogens supplement to boys students. Yeah, we can see the boys students of the school. And now, first of all, here we can see the spots. Well, every man can contain 200 grams food for eating. Having 200 gram foods in every day. Every man can contain. And now here we can see the points. Well, what is the plan of the Divija Bhasin? Divija Bhasin's plan is man should contain here 200 grams cytoestrogen supplements. Okay. And now for days. And here we can see 1 month as a monthly foods, man can contain here 6 kilogram foods. Okay. Hence, Divija Bhasin's plan is here. She want to supply what? She want to supply 6 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements. Now we can see the points. Well, 1 gram cytoestrogen supplements can decrease here human velocity in 20%. Now here is my questions. What would be the significant moments? 20% means 0.2 for 1 gram cytoestrogens. Well, 6 kilograms cytoestrogens human velocity decreasement calculation is significant. 600 multiplied by 2. That means 1200. Now let's take the points. Here is the simple moments. Well, now here I have mentioned Argentine football teams because here, well, sometimes here personal sports is just in the purpose of health. Okay? And now let's take the moments. What about the cytoestrogens can matters? Okay. Now we can see the points. In today's quarter-final match between Argentina versus England, what is going on? Well, in the match between Argentina versus England, here we can see this is the going on. So Lionel Messi's velocity is 275,000 kilometer per second. Here I could say his velocity would be 297,000 kilometer per second. And now here is the significant questions that what is the affection of cytoestrogens? Okay. Well, here we can see this pulse. Well, 297 multiplied by 10 cube can be divided by 12 multiplied by 10 squared. Bracket close. That means, well, 2970 divided by 12. And now, here we can see we could contest the support of what? We could contest the support of our calculators. And in these cases, here we can see the points. Well, 2970 can be divided by what? That can be divided by 12. And now let's check what's going on. Well, velocity is 247.5 kilometer per second. And now let's check the moments. Okay. Now here is my question. Here is my common questions about the from the NEET aspirants. I mean here is my common questions for NEET aspirants. And now question is 1 gram cytoestrogens contains here the capability to decrease human velocity 20%. Now Lionel Messi's velocity is 297,000 km per second. And now before receiving any cytoestrogen supplements. And now here is the point. So, well, after receiving here 6 kilogram cytoestrogen supplements, what would be his final velocity? Okay. Well, option A, 299,900 kilometer per second to be final velocity. Option B, 247.5 kilometer per second. Option C, here 547.5 kilometer per second. And option D is 1247.5 kilometer per second. And now here we can see the points. Now what about the option B, option C and option D? Here is the moments. In these cases, option B, we could notify the significant terms. Let's come on the option C. Well, what is the function of cytoestrogen supplements? Here, the function of the cytoestrogen supplements is about the well to decrease human velocities. Well, hence that a human can run like a woman in lieu of run like a man. And now, here is the points. Option D, option C, option C and option D is scientific answers, but it is a wrong answers. Because here we can see the points. Well, option C was 547.5 kilometer per second. But here we can notify here 547.5 multiple by 1200. That is here out of the velocity of light. And here it is out of more than velocity of light. It is here scientific. It is scientific answer, but it is wrong answers. And option now what about the option D? Option D is 1247.5 thousand kilometer per second. And here we can see this points. Now 1247.5 kilometer per second multiplied by 1200. That would be the more than here velocity of light. Hence option D is wrong answer. Now what about the option A? Option A is 299,900 kilometer per second would be the final velocity. Oh my gosh. Now it is their cytoestrogen supplement. It is not a steroid supplement. Well, now what is the function of cytoestrogen supplements? Here cytoestrogen supplement is that human can run like a woman in lieu of run like a man. And now feminine when you can run your velocity would be like feminine. Well, it is the function of cytoestrogen supplements. And what about the masculine velocity? Well, masculine velocity is the how much fast you can run. And it is the points, that is the significant moments. Well, 299,900 km per second is more masculine velocity than here 297,000 km per second. Hence, option A is unscientific. It is the superstitions. Well, it is definitely wrong answers. Now, what is the right answers? Yeah, right answer is option B. That was 247.5 kilometer per second. If you cannot receive 6 kilograms cytoestrogens, well, hence here you can count here 245 because 247.5 multiplied by 1200, that equal to 297,000 kilometer per second. Where after receiving being 6 kilograms cytoestrogen supplements, your velocity would be like 247.5 kilometer per second. Okay. Now think about it. A man who can run like a 40 kilometer per hour, what would be effect on 6 kilograms cytoestrogens? Now here we can see the points. Well, it is very scary points. Now let's check it. 1, 2, and here we can see the points. Before cytoestrogens, before 6 kilogram cytoestrogen supplements, when a man can run like a 40 kilometer per hour, after 6 kilograms cytoestrogens, the following man can run with a velocity of 33.34 meter per hours. Now where is 33.34 meter per hours and where is 40 kilometer per hours? Now that is the significant moments. Okay. Now it is the, now here we can see, that is the hormonal fractions of operations Indian Neti Maria Stephens or Operation World Neti Maria Stephens. And now let's take it the moments here. That is the reason that Divija Bhasin could dares to present her school uniform designed for man to be feminine like a salwar kameez. Okay. Now what is the real world? Here we can check that. In real world, here we can say, if I would go to, if I, a girl student, go to schools, I have to wear, I have to wear pants, I have to wear shirts, and I have to wear the shoes, and here I have to go to a school. And in this cases the pants, that would be the significant notifiers. And here my school teachers always appreciate my dress because here my dress is like a man's. What is the causing for me? In this cases, my dress is like a man's because I wear shirts, I wear pants, and I wear shoes to go to schools. I am a girls student, and every boys classmate and every teachers would appreciate my dressing sense. And here we can see only here 10 boy classmates dislike my dressing sense. Who was the boys? The boys was today presently the boys classmates was is supporters of Divija Bhasin. And in this case the months the boys classmates was the following classmates to dislike my dressing sense, whose answer script was like results like a 2 out of 100 or 5 out of 100. This is women's girly results. And now this is the points. And in this cases, 90% boy classmates appreciate my dressing sense, and where 90% boy classmates were scoring 90 out of 100 or 95 out of 100. That is the moments and the points, because as a girl students, my dressing sense is masculine, and in these cases, that is at the significant points. Okay. Now, in 2 minutes, I have show my dressing experience when I was a girls school students, girls students of my school. Okay, now let's check at the moments what's going on. And in these cases, let's come into the dressing sense about the points. In these cases, now, it is some of okay. Now here we can see the points. Now here we can see it is Divija Bhasin's, and here we can see the spans, and it is Divija Bhasin's uniform idea for boys students, and here we can see the spans. Now we can see now here we go. It is the notifiers. We boys do not like any girls who wear salwar kameez. Even we boys do not like any man in Idgah who wears salwar kameez. And in this case is the moments, well, in the parts of Idgah, well, when 1,000 Musallis in Idgah were attends here Idul Fitr Namaz or Idul Adha Namaz. In this case, most of 1,000, I mean, 999 out of 1,000 Muslims wear salwar kameez, and one wears like here shirt and pants. And here is the spots that can support Divija Bhasin's school uniform idea, because here we can see the spots. Well, both of them are feminists, and now this is the significant matter, that is the dangerous moment. Okay. Well, when man can wear salwar kameez, then man cannot think rationally. But when women can wear a masculine dress like shirts and pants, well, it is the mostly 40% probability that women can think rationally. That is the truth. Okay. Now here we can see the moments. Well, it is the truth when women wear shirts and pants, women can think rationally. But still, it is not the moments that if women wear think ethical or not, that is not related by dress. But it can be unethical rational mind or ethical rational mind. That is the points to be noted. Okay. Well. So now here we can see we can notify when man can wear salwar kameez. Well, he can think, well, women are good, women are positive, women are the savior of the art employments, blah blah blah. Okay. Now you can see the response. Well, why girls can think about the car velocity to be 260,000 km per second? Because I wear t-shirts and I wear shirts and pants. Now let's check the comments. Okay, now here we can see the NEET exams question is over. Now let's check it. Well, my questions contains one correct option to contains 4 marks, and the rest 3 option contains negative ones. Where question was, well, when 1 gram cytoestrogens can decrease human velocity to be 20%. Well, when Lionel Messi's initial velocity to be 297,000 km per second, then what is Lionel Messi's final velocities? And in this cases, it is all about the biological chemistry. It is only on the topic of the biological chemistry. And now, here is the moments. Now, what about the biological chemistries at the points? Here is the significant journeys. Okay. Now let's come into the points. Here we can see. Well, we know here 90 question is biological questions and 45 question is here chemistry questions. Now here is the moments. What is your women's answers? Okay. Now let's check here. Now coming to the points. And now let's insert it. Now here you can see what about the 1,814,553 viewers. I mean here 22,000 supporters of Divija Bhasin's video school uniform ideas contest to be a girls aspirant is attending here. Zero correct answers, and here 135 wrong answers. Okay, now let's check it. What's going on? That would be here. A score is negative 135 here out of positive 720. Okay, now here you can see 45. Oh my gosh. Yes, 135. And now here we can see the sponge. Okay. Now we can see this moments. Well, it is about the students' moments. Well. Now here we can see for the admission cutoffs. Here we can notify schedule cast highest marks. What is the schedule cast highest marking? That would be 432. I have guessed 430 out of 720. And the lowest cutoff of the schedule cast for admissions, that would be here, 400. That is the clarified moments. Okay, now it is the significant points. Here we can see that would be the cutoff moments. Okay, now we can see the points. What is 400 sum by 135? That is 535. And what is 430 sum by 135? That is 565. That means here we can see the 22,000 girls who likes here Divija Bhasin's school uniform idea to be a girls aspirant can score here 535 marks less than here schedule cast lowest cutoff for the medical admissions, and here schedule cast highest cutoff medical admission was 430, and they attend here 565 marks less than schedule cast admissions schedule cast cutoff for admissions. And in these cases, here is sometimes that is an simply at the significant moments that can be dangerous, and here we can notify that is very simple terms as some what about 22,000 like us, they are eligible as the moments. Okay, now in these cases, now we can see this 22,000 girls to be an NEET aspirants, I mean re-NEET aspirants support Divija Bhasin's idea, where idea is to for a design and that boys students from the school would wear salwar kameez as a school uniforms. That is the design idea of Divija Bhasin's, and in these cases, 22,000 girls aspirants like the videos, and in these cases, when their fathers would notify that this 22,000 girls aspirants is scoring negative 135 out of positive 720s, In that cases, the 22,000 girls aspirants father would be intentions because they could not find the rickshaw drivers as son-in-law that he can contest a marriage between his daughters and his son-in-law to be a rickshaw drivers. Because what is the rickshaw drivers requirements? And rickshaw drivers requirements is now here the girls she would be a girl's parents with the score of positive 135 out of positive 720. And rickshaw drivers cannot afford and wish to contest a wife to be a girl's husband with a score of negative 135 out of positive 720. And that is the score of 22,000 girls aspirants of NEET 2026 to be curse of Divija Bhasin's following videos. And now let's check at the moments. And here we can see. Now even rickshaw driver will be angry on here Divija Bhasin's. And nowadays, in these cases, pilot would be angry on Divija Bhasin's. Immigration officers would be angry on Divija Bhasin's. Even here, cab drivers would be angry on Divija Bhasin's. Now we can see Sachin Panchali is always angry on Divija Bhasin, where Sachin Panchali is Divija Bhasin's father-in-law. And now that is the significant dangerous moments. Okay. I think here now Sir Bhimrao Ambedkar would be angry on Divija Bhasin. Why? Because when Bhimrao Ambedkar, the god of Indian scheduled caste, is always wearing here shirts, pants and suit when he was alive. That was the moment. Here we can say this, he would die almost 1955. Okay. Now here we could see almost 60 years later of Bhimrao Ambedkar's death. His university students named Divija Bhasin has proposed a design for school uniforms where boy students would wear salwar kameez. Now here we can see the response, and Ambedkar would be frustrated in hell that did I open Divija Bhasin did I open Ambedkar University for Divija Bhasin who proposed school uniform for man to be salwar kameez? What a rubbish moments! And now let's get the points. And here we can see this moments. Okay. Okay. Now here we can see. What about the points when Lionel Messi would be just like an injured, when he would be healed at the points. Now here is the moments. That is the points about masculine velocity versus feminine velocities. And here we can see that is the moments. Who is the hospitals can reform who is the hospital that can reform Lionel Messi if and only if Lionel Messi would be injured. And here we can see this moments. And now let's check at the points about that can be well significant notifiers. Okay. Now here is the clears. Okay. Atlanta. Well, departure is Atlanta only because here we could notify there is a match between Argentina versus England. I mean, white Argentina versus Northern Atlantic and Northern European Bangladesh. Okay, and here we can see this one still with. Okay, now I don't know what's going on. Oh my god, oh my god. Now here you can see less content the delete marks, and here we can see the spawns. Here we contains the hybrids, and now let's check it at the moments. Well. No. Well, now you can see now here we contains one spot for Gibraltar. We contains another spot for here Tunisia. We contains here another spot for words Spain. Okay, now here we can see that is the significant points as we could notify. Well, we can another points for Monaco. Well, hence we can contest the another points for Genos. Well, we contest another points for Rome. Okay. Now we contest another points for Paterno. Well, here we can see we contest another other points in here. Now let's check it. Half to Israel is okay. Now here is word about the half to. Half from here Atlanta, the Georgias of United States of America. Well, and here we can see it is like here. And now here the next stop would be here words. Next stop would be in New York. Well, now here we can see we have to reform it. Now let's check it. Next stop would be words. Okay. Next stop would be here Portugal as in the points. Well, and next stop would be here France. Now let's check it. Okay, it's okay for this. Oh, and here we can see the points. Well. Here we could notify that is here naval distances 7645.5 nautical miles. And now here is the moments. Well, what is here 7645.5 nautical miles? That is the questions. Because it is the out of the unit. But still here we can see the notifiers. that would be converted into kilometers. Okay, and now let's check is what's going on. Well, 7645.5. It is the meaning of 14,100. Well, 59 kilometer 466 meters. That means almost 15,000 kilometers. And now here you can see this points. Well, now let's check it. Okay. Well, what is here half of weight of Israeli medical reactions? That will be here 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 kilograms. Okay. And now what is the velocities? That would be here almost 15,000 kilometers per second. Okay. Now let's check the moments. What is the velocity? That would be 58,000 kilometers per second. That means 15 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meter per second. Okay. What is 15 square? That is 15 square means 225. And what is 10 to the power 6? That would be here, well, 10 to the power 12. Hence the velocity square is 225 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. Well, meter square per second square. Now let's check at the points. What is the calculations of kinetic powers of Israeli medical velocities? That would be here, it is the significant point. That would be like here 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by here 225 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. Okay. Now we know that 10 to the power 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 is 10 to the power 16. Well, everybody knows. Well, and now we have what is 25 multiplied by 6? That is 150. 50. Okay. What is 2 multiplied by 6? That is 12. And what is 200 multiplied by 6? That is 1200. That means it is almost 1350 multiplied by 10 to the power 12. That means 13.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 18 watts. That would be here 13.5 trillion megawatts. Okay. When travel time is 1 second, the kinetic energy unit to be joule is watts. And now here we consider sponge. What is the calculations of cargo ship walls? Okay. Well, here we can see, as in some conspiracy theories, here we can see the points. Well, Lionel Messi is now Messi Netanyahu, according with some conspiracy theories, right? And here we can see the points. Now let's check it. Let's enjoy the conspiracy theory at the moment. And now here we can see what would be the fuel. The fuel would be artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, 666 million, 666,000, 666 degrees Celsius. Okay? Only because here Lionel Messi is now Messi Netanyahu. It's so funny. You can see the sponsor. It is so funny. Now let's check it. Well, 13.5 multiplied by 10 to the power 18 can be divided by, well, bracket of 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin as in specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion, 666 billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, triple six degrees Celsius. Then here, what is the fuel weights? In that cases, here we can see now it is the points here. Fuel weight would be here. In this cases, here weight would be artificial solar arc reactors with the I apologize. What is the fuel weight? Fuel weight would be 1.32 multiple by 10 to the power negative triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, 654 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of triple six multiple by 10 to the power triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, triple six degrees Celsius as a points. Okay. Now we can see the points well, accordance with conspiracy when Lionel Messi is now Messi Netanyahu and his what is the points his when he would injured his medical EH's velocity his medical EH's fuel weight would be 1.32 multiple by 10 to the power negative triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, 654 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of triple six multiple by 10 to the power triple six trillion, triple six billion, triple six million, triple six thousand, triple six degrees Celsius. And now that is the significant points. And what is about the moments? Because departures is here Atlanta and arrival Atlanta, the city of Georgia, provincial state of United States of America. And what is the arrivals? Arrivals is here something like now. Well, Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel. Because according with conspiracy theories, here Lionel Messi is now Messi Netanyahu. Okay, now here we can see the sponsor. Now, let's check it. Well, what if here medical in Israeli hospitals every nurse is man? Well, every nurse is man. Here is no nurse to be women in Tel Aviv. Any hospitals of the Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel. And now, this is the moments at the points of ambulance. Now we can see the moments. Well, what if ambulance drivers would be the school students of the school in Tel Aviv, the capital city of Israel, where he would wear salar kameez as he is a man to wear salar kameez as boy students. Then what would be his calculations to track the medical ambulance yachts? And now ambulance yachts. Then here we can see the points that would be notified. Well, okay. First of all, now here we can see the significant points. Velocity would be 15 km per hour. Naval distance is 15,000 kilometers. Naval travel time is 84 days. I apologize, 83 days, 4 hours. Now in this cases, what would be the negative points? In that points, 83 days, 4 hours. Means here 36 multiple by 10 to the power 5 seconds. And now here we can see the points. Well, what will be the kinetic energy in this points? Well, 15 what is the 15 kilometers? That means 15 multiple by What is 15 km per hour? That means 15 multiplied by 1000 divided by 3600 meter per second. That means 150 divided by 36. Now it is the round figures as the moments of 5 meter per second. That's the meaning of the 15 kilometer per hour. Well, because it is actually for point something. And now here we can see the points. Here, that is the dangerous moments. Well, now here you can see this. What is 5 square? That is 25. What is 6 multiplied by 10 to the power 4 multiplied by 25? That means 150 multiplied by 10 to the power 4. That is 15 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 joules. And now here we can see there is the moments. What is the points? What would be the kinetic force? It is clear the moments. 15 divided by 36. That would be as 0.4167 watts. Now we can see here we can see this points. Masculine ambulance drivers. Well, I apologize. Masculine ambulance Yachi captain's velocity is kinetic force is almost what's 13.5 trillion megawatts, and the feminine ambulance Yachi captain's kinetic power is 0.4167 watts. And now here is the reason that why Divija Bhasin proposed the school uniform design where boy student can wear salwar kameez. Okay. Now let's take at the moment. What about the fuel? Oh my God, here fuel would be cargo ship walls. Now let's take at the points about the it is the significant terms. Well, 15 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. Well, now here you can see the 15 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. That can be divided by what? Okay. Now in this cases, that can be divided by 200,000 joule per kilogram per kilometer as a specific heat of cargo ship walls multiplied by 50 degrees Celsius as highest temperature difference multiplied by 1.01 kilogram per liter as a density of cargo ship walls. That would be here 15 liters of cargo ship walls. Now it is the points here is the moments. Okay. Now here is the case to be started when masculine ambulance Yachi captain's velocity fuel weight is 1.32 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 654 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. Here by feminine ambulance Yachi's captain's fuel volume is fuel weight is almost 20 kilograms of cargo ship walls. Now where is 20 kilograms of cargo ship walls and where is 1.32 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,654 kilograms of artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 trillion 666 billion 666 million 666,000 666 degrees Celsius. Now here is the ones when man is masculine. That is the topic of the significant journeys. That is the dangerous for toxic feminists like Divija Bhasin. Okay. And now we can see the moments let's check it about the comments, and here you can see. Yes, Divija versus contains the significant influence, and the significant influence is here dangerous for our society. Well, now here is one comments. Well, now we can see. I think it would be bot comments here. I used to think too. That's why girls have to wear salwar kameez and boys do not have to wear kurta and pajamas. Now we go. Boys kurta pajamas is okay, but what is the moments? Well, we boys do not know things that girls have to wear salwar kameez. We boys always think that girls compulsory is to should be to wear here t-shirt and trousers or shirts and pants. It is like an shirts and pants would be school uniform for women, both for men and women. Here is boys' beliefs. But what is girls' beliefs? Well, when girls wear salwar kameez, boys should wear salwar kameez. That is here the point. That is the beliefs of the Divija Bhasin, hence her followers. And here we can see the points. Well, exactly. One is Ritika Ganesh states exactly we have to wear theirs, but they can't wear ours. Oh my Adonai! Well, well, in the eyes of boys, girls can be beautiful if girls can wear shirts and pants. Because here that is the significant point. It is the symbol of masculinity, and it is the equal moments. Well, and it can symbol that women have to work hard like a man, and women have to think more rational like a man. That is the symbols of shorts and pants for as a dress for women. Well, but we can say the points. Well, where salwar kameez is too irrational. Salwar kameez is the dress of irrational women's mindset. Then why man should wear salwar kameez? That is the significant moment of the points. Okay. Now in these cases, here is the significant signals as we could notify. Well, across the same man wear hijabs and niqabs, but he should wear hijab, niqab, shirts and pants. To be here masculine hijabis, and that is good. But here salwar kameez is two levels. Here we can see the spots. Oh, here we can see the moments. Some men wear salwar kameez, but that is about the geopolitics. It is not about the science and technologies. Particularly, this man to wear salwar kameez is out of NEET 2026. Okay? And now it is the moment, and this man to wear salwar kameez is the threat for the sovereignty of the progressive countries like United States of America, conservative England, Israel, and here conservative Argentina. Okay. Now here you can see this is my points. Here I have mentioned it. Students, God Hafiz, love you. And here we can see, well, I am in words about the next live stream, and that would be just some kinds of the movies. But the live stream about the topic of the movie would be after 21st, after July 21st or July 22nd, where trend would be already eliminated. Okay. What? What's wrong with you? Oh my other nice. Dear sir, what's wrong with you?